When it comes to interacting with robots, people have a design flaw. If we don't know how something works, we have a tendency to make assumptions. Now, in my research, I study the ways that robots can behave that take these, our assumptions, into account and can produce behaviors that are not only lead to more successful interactions, but also lead to behaviors that mimic the ways that we as people really think, speak, and even feel. My focus is on robots with emotions. Now, to that end, I conducted a study with a robot named Cosmo, that little guy in the corner over there. Cosmo is programmed with over 900 emotional displays. These can make it look like he's throwing a tantrum, celebrating a victory, things like that. So I recorded all of these with a camera, posted them to YouTube like a normal person, and then asked 200 people what they thought Cosmo was feeling. So of course, Cosmo being a robot doesn't have feelings, so the results were fascinating. And using machine learning, I was able to discover that depending on the intended emotion Cosmo is trying to display, people paid more attention to different subsets of Cosmo's features. Okay, so what on earth does that mean? All right, well, as an example, if a viewer thought Cosmo was feeling desire, one part of him really stood out. Sorry, that sounded gross. Let me try again. All right. If Cosmo was moving forward, people thought he wanted something. That sounded worse. All right, sorry, give me one more chance, one more shot. Depending on the movement of Cosmo's wheels, people assumed intent. On the basis of too little information, they saw something that wasn't there, much like we all just did with my previous 2 sentences. All right. Now, the reason this research is important is because me, you, I assume my fellow human beings, we are not robots. We don't speak robot. We need robots to come to us, to understand the assumptions we make, to understand our mistakes, and frankly, to appreciate us, even with our design flaws. But I have to say, if people are flawed, robots are much, much worse. Speaking as someone who works with a robot every day, that little monster, the robot apocalypse will only come about after he can correctly tell me what color block I show him every day. It's red, buddy. The block is always red. All right, so the takeaway is this. Our empathy as human beings is not a design flaw. In fact, it is a strength. If it allows us to connect with our increasingly technological surroundings and lead to interactions that are not only more intuitive, but ironically, more human. And not because robots are replacing us, but because robots are working with us. Isn't that right, Cosmo? Wouldn't it be great if he could talk? More work remains to be done. Thank you.